Gang, YBP Nation, YBP Boxing, YBP MMA. It's your boy YBP Michael coming at y'all with a live update video. It just got announced that Curtis Blaydes will be taking on Jailton Almeida for UFC Sao Paulo, Brazil, coming up on November 4th. This is big news for the heavyweight division. Obviously, I'm low-key becoming a fan of Jailton Almeida with his performance over Rosenstrike and his fights before, taking on Anton Turkalj, the Contender Series fight against the Russian guy. I think his name was Nasruddin something. Just ragdolling Parker Porter, beating Shamil Abdurakhimov, I think his name is. Was ragdolling him too. And he's becoming this like new class of like heavyweights that are a little lighter than everyone else, but they have the skill that's lacking at heavyweight. They have the speed that's lacking at heavyweight, the athleticism, and he's freakishly strong, really long for the division, really big. And he's taking on a grappler, wrestler, in Curtis Blaydes with big hands too. Just came off his knockout loss versus Sergey Pavlovich. Looking to get back right in there. And if you're Curtis Blaydes, like it's time's running out for you to get that championship berth, get that chance at the title. So I like that he's getting right back in there. To be honest, he didn't take too much damage. He got knocked out. It's a quick fight. Definitely some stuff that he could work on, utilize his wrestling more. It's a really interesting matchup if we just look at it. Jailton is obviously going to be the taller fighter. Curtis Blaydes is going to be way thicker than him. I'm really excited for the grappling exchanges. Like, who's going to are they going to try to take each other down? I am aware that I think Jailton Almeida has like some kickboxing or boxing credentials. He was like a champion somewhere. So he has hands. We haven't really seen much of it throughout his career so far. And Curtis Blaydes has like tons of power. Knocked out Chris Dawkins. Was hitting Sergey Pavlovich with some like really good shots, some hard shots that would have knocked out 90% of people. We've seen Jailton Almeida take shots from other people. Like he took some shots from Shamil Abdurakhimov. Ate like a really good right hand, like straight to the temple. Other than that, like he hasn't really been. He got not touched significantly by heavyweight. That was the only time, and he ate that one pretty well. But we just don't know. Shamil probably hits hard, I presume. Curtis hits so hard. If he connects, what's going to happen? Will Jailton Almeida keep his distance? Like, what's the plan? Is he going to gain tons of muscle from now until the November 4th fight? Like, what's the strategy exactly? Jailton's a smart fighter. He fights that way. He's going to have a strategy. The Jairzinho Rosenstrike fight was obliteration. And the game plan was very clear. For this one, I don't really know what the game plan is going to be. And if you're Curtis Blaydes, do you try to take him down? Do you try to, because, Jailton's a wrestler, but he also has really good BJJ too. Obviously being from Brazil. So do you try to take him down? Do you try to stay with him on the feet? Because that's a big criticism of Curtis Blaydes in his last fight was that with Sergey Pavlovich and fights before is that he's, falling in love with his hands a little bit ever since the Chris Dawkins knockout. So it's like, does he go to the well and be like, I'm not going to take this risk? Because we don't even know. Jailton might have some crazy hands. I haven't seen them. I'm going to have to go back into the tapes. But at least in his UFC career, we haven't seen, I'm seeing like good kicks from him, but not prolonged time on the feet. Like he wants to get the fight to the ground. So I want to know, Jailton's got that prospect, got that Hamza energy to him. Like he's going to do stuff that some people wouldn't do. He has that like a lot of confidence. So if he doesn't get, I'm assuming he's gonna go for the takedown. Even though, why would you go to try to take down Curtis Blaydes? I don't know. But if he doesn't get the takedown on the feet, it's gonna be really interesting. But I could definitely see Jailton Almeida in a 5-round fight, keeping his distance, staying away from Blaydes' power, using his length, teep kicks, going in and out, bouncing around, using his length, athleticism, and just tiring Blaydes out. Maybe he gets like a late takedown, maybe like round 4, round 5, wins a 49-46 decision. But I could also see Blaydes sparking him at any moment, But Blaydes, I think, Blaydes has pretty good cardio, if I'm not mistaken. pretty over 5-round fights. He's pretty I'm gonna have to look back at that. I don't just from what I remember. I think he's pretty, you know what I mean? Even though his last fights have been finishes, like he can go late still. So it's just, man, this fight intrigued me. I had to come on here and talk about it a little bit because, and I don't know. I'm trying to like be more active with my content. So, but man, I mean, the fight just intrigues me. You know, I want to see like how far like this new like branch of heavyweights, because then there's conversations about Alex Pereira like maybe making a shift to heavyweight, like how that would be, because light heavyweight's so like, even though it's wide open, like heavyweight's really wide open because the skill level is really not there from a lot of these fighters. So it's wide open, you know. Like Jailton Almeida could obviously make the cut down to light heavyweight, but would he have the same success at that weight class? Because it's a lot of the same people his size, but not the same with a lot of skill, you know. And then heavyweight, it's the glamour division. All the big fights are there, and then plus people are not. They just don't got the skill really. Once you get to the elite guys, like, you know, Blaydes has the wrestling, you know, Paulo has the power. Jones, obviously, I don't rate him as much as heavyweight, but, you know, he's John Jones. And then Cyril Gane, kickboxing champ or whatever. Alexander Romanov, wrestler, even though he looked bad in his last fight, like he has good wrestling credentials. Tom Aspinall, good BJJ, all around. Just a lot of these guys. That's what I actually would have wanted to see, like, even though I think Aspinall got paired up with Marcin Tybura, but Tom Aspinall versus Jailton Almeida fight would have been really interesting. But this fight is, man, they threw him to the wolves, man. Like, god damn, this is so he got one win against Rosenstrike, and they're like, here you go, Curtis Blaydes in your own country. So he has a lot of time to prepare. I don't know if I'm Jailton. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, what do you do with a guy like Blaydes? I think he has to go with striking at a distance, slow pace, just, man, 5-round fight. Win each round. Don't get caught. He has a relatively good chin. I don't think he's been maybe he's been stopped. I don't think he's been brutally knocked out in his career. It's heavyweight, but just stay your distance. Maybe try to shoot a takedown or two here, mix it in a little bit, but just stay away from the power. It has to be the strategy. And if you're Blaydes, you go for the takedown. You muscle in. You clinch. You let him know your size. You know what I mean? Even though Jailton's a freakishly strong guy, once you get to the top of the heavy, well, you know, it's not Ngannou anymore. It's Jones. I actually would give Jailton a pretty good chance to beat Jones. I'm not gonna lie to you, just because we don't know much about Jones. Jones could be like a world beater, or he could be like absolutely horrible. And Cyril Gane was just this one-dimensional guy. Because from the striker we did see, he looked kind of sloppy. I'm not gonna lie. He even admitted to that. So, you know, John Jones could be this crazy good guy at heavyweight, or that's why I really want to see him fight again. But he's not fighting at 290. He's not fighting at. Looks like he's fighting at MSG. I don't know. But whatever the next opponent is, whether it's Miocic, it looks like, or it's Sergey Pavlovich, we're really gonna get that answer. But yeah, man, Jailton Almeida versus Curtis Blaydes. My official prediction, my early prediction for this fight is I got Jailton Almeida by unanimous decision victory to beat. I think it'll be an upset because I think Curtis Blaydes would have to be the betting favorite in that fight. But you know, I love Jailton. Like, I'm a fan, and you know, Curtis Blaydes, he should be the favorite. I'm not gonna lie. He has more ways to win. I feel like he could knock him out. He could wrestle him. He could clinch him. He has decent cardio too. But I think Jailton, you know, like we don't know too much about him, but what I do know, he's a star. He's a stud in Brazil, in his home country. He's gonna come out and perform. He's gonna get that dub. But with that being said, man, I'm just loving the fights the UFC are putting out. We're taking them in. This is the UFC's year, man. November 4th, man. Some good fights, man. Good fights for the whole year, man. So I'm glad to be a UFC fan. Glad to be a combat sports fan. Obviously, with boxing, Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence. I was gonna make a video when that came out, but it was just a little too late. So maybe I'll make a video like later, just talking about it when the fight gets a little closer. But hey, man, leave a like on the video, subscribe. And that's all I got for y'all. YBP Michael out.